Welcome to the Hidden Corners, where truth and terror collide. Discover a realm where the lines between the living and the supernatural blur, as you embark on a journey to the paranormal and visit the mysterious hidden corners of your mind. Welcome to Sci Fi Saturday. I hope everyone had a very nice Valentines Day this week. I thought it would be fun for our Sci Fi Saturday story to have one appropriate for the occasion. This one is called Happily Ever After by William F. Nolan. On the way back to Level 12 in the space cab, Donald Spencer couldn't resist the impulse to sing. The android pilot looked curiously at him, and Spencer smiled. "I'm just happy," he told the android. "Bought a rather expensive wedding present today to celebrate the end of bachelorhood. I've been a married man for exactly..." He checked his wrist. 6 hours and 27 minutes. "Congratulations," said the pilot. "I hope that you and your wife will live happily ever after." Spencer nodded at this ancient response. Feed an android information and the standard cliches emerge. But it was something to think about, living happily ever after. Paula Spencer impatiently watched her husband step out of the humming space cab. He waved a greeting as the walk brought him swiftly down to her. Then he was in her arms. "Well, where is it?" she demanded in mock anger, stepping back. "You said you were going to buy a perfect wedding present." "And so I did." Spencer pointed skyward. "It's up there." "What's up where?" "Our wedding present," he grinned. "I bought us an asteroid." "Don, you're joking." 20,000 credits is no joke," he said. "We are now the legal owners of asteroid K-157 in the Luani cluster." Stunned, Paula blinked at him. "But can we afford it?" "It's a solid investment, honey," Spencer assured her. "Nobody loses money on asteroids these days. Now, I've arranged everything. We leave tonight for the cluster. Our living quarters are all set up and waiting, so how's about a smile for your rich, new husband?" "Oh, I'll do better than that," Paula said, and brought her lips softly to his. The trip out to the cluster was perfect. As their new home swung into sight on the ship's wide view screen, Donald Spencer knew that he'd made a shrewd purchase. In 10 years, an asteroid would fetch at least 50,000 credits on the Earth market. The furiously expanding population guaranteed it. Some of his business friends had been skeptical, warning him against the deal, telling him that no one really knew much about the Luani cluster, that he might run into trouble there, but Spencer ignored them. They were simply jealous of his business ability. In a few years, Luani would be completely settled, and real estate would soar. "Ready, darling?" he asked. Paula Spencer nodded excitedly. The couple shook hands with the captain, then transferred to their personal landing craft. Spencer raised a hand, and a section of the passenger rocket's outer hull slid back. The small silver craft bulleted toward K-157, leaving the giant ship behind to continue its galactic voyage. The landing was smooth, and Donald Spencer took his wife's hand after the atomic motor had stilled. "Happy?" "You know I am, Don." "Then come on, meet your asteroid." They scrambled out of the ship. The air was heavy, but breathable. In rising waves, the tall blue trees and multicolored vegetation of asteroid K-157 pressed around them, all but engulfing their tiny spacecraft. "I had a section cleared for us," Spencer told his wife. "The house is just beyond those trees." "I can hardly wait to see it," Paula said, running ahead of him across her springy green soil. He joined her at the clearing's edge, smiling at her reaction. Paula clapped her hands together in delight. Dawn, it's wonderful. It's all I've ever hoped for, she said, hugging him. The new house was low and modern, sculptured to the alien soil, a flat plaster-brick structure gleaming under double suns. As they approached it, the front door slid silently open for them. All the comforts of Earth, said Spencer, even a microfilm library. Are we alone here? Paula asked. Absolutely. The last of the building crew was due out yesterday. The entire place is ours. She darted through the house, exclaiming at all the latest electronic marvels. In the bedroom, she turned to face him. We're going to make this the most tremendous honeymoon any couple ever had. That, he grinned, will be a pleasure. Later that night, Donald Spencer awoke to find the bed empty beside him. He got up quickly, calling Paula's name. When she failed to answer, he pulled on his robe and rushed outside into the bright moonlight. Paula, are you out here? Then Spencer saw her, standing at the edge of the clearing, facing the massed line of blue trees. Darling, I was worried, he called out. He walked up to her and put a hand on her shoulder. She turned calmly, the moonlight filling her eyes. I needed some fresh air. The room was stifling. Are you sure you're feeling all right? Paula didn't reply, turning slowly away from him. Spencer was puzzled, strangely uneasy, yet nothing seemed to be wrong. Let's go back to the house. No, the girl said firmly. I want to stay out here. But you go on in if you wish. Spencer shrugged, a little angry. He walked back, trying to pinpoint the difference he had noticed in Paula. She had somehow changed. Exactly how have I changed, Donald? He spun around. She had followed him back. Then he gasped. How had she known? What you were thinking? She finished his question. Because I can read your mind now, of course. She stood there in the doorway, framed in soft moonlight, smiling at him as a mother smiles at her child. It's true, she said. I can also move faster than you can. I'm much stronger than you. In fact, I could easily kill you with one blow. Easily. Good God, said Spencer. What kind of nonsense is this? It's not nonsense. It's fact. All of it could be yours, too. The trees will accept you. I know they will. Spencer began to speak, but she raised a silencing hand. I walked out for air earlier while you slept, but it was really not for air at all. The trees had been calling me. They wanted me to become part of them, part of this place. And so I did. Paula, what are you telling me? That this asteroid is alive, that the blue trees are alive, and have mental powers far beyond yours. They called me tonight, and I went out to them. I ate the fruit I found on their branches. Then I was one of them. I'm sure they want you too, Dawn. Go to them. You're just tired. The trip, the new house. Maybe in the morning we can... In the morning, she interrupted, I won't be here. At least not as you see me. The mutation will be complete by then. This creature you call Paula will be gone. I'll be part of them. She extended a hand. Spencer saw that she held a triangular piece of fruit, which cast a subtle blue glow in the darkness. We are in a new Garden of Eden, she said softly. Eat this, and you'll be free, as I am free. Spencer moved back from her. He believed Paula now. She had changed, and something on this asteroid had affected that change. The Luani cluster was undeveloped. No one could specify exactly what man would encounter here. That was one of the risks. He knew he'd made a terrible error in seeking out this place, that because of his error the woman he had loved was lost to him. Paula was no longer his wife, no longer human. "Well, Dawn, I don't want to join you," he said, watching her cold eyes. "I'll leave in the morning. The house, the asteroid, it's yours, everything." She laughed, and a sudden chill made him shiver beneath his robe. "You'll never leave. No one can. All the others, the construction crew, they're out there with the trees. By morning, you'll be one of us." "Then I won't wait for morning. I'll go now. I can make contact with the passenger ship near Ariel, and—" "You're acting like a fool, Dawn." Her voice was edged. Whatever possessed her was angry. Spencer turned, entered the bedroom, and hurriedly began to dress. Paula watched him from the doorway, unsmiling, silent. He walked quickly past her, out to the waiting spacecraft. "Paula, goodbye." "It's not goodbye, Dawn. There'll never be a goodbye for us." Spencer mounted the ladder, opened the airlock, put one foot inside the rocket. Then, on impulse, he turned. The trees seemed much closer. "They are," Paula said, reading his thoughts. "You only have a few seconds, Dawn. Eat from the tree, or—" "Or what?" he demanded. "Or be destroyed with the rocket." "Go to hell," said Spencer as he closed the airlock. Outside, the trees were all around the silver ship. The clearing had completely vanished. Sweating and impatient, Spencer turned to the controls, then paused. He slowly raised his head. Someone was calling him with an urgency he could not resist. Something wanted him. The trees wanted him. Moving with a calm deliberation, Spencer opened the lock. They waited for him, offering their shining blue branches in the bright moonlight, offering immortality. He climbed down the ladder, putting out a hand toward Paula, toward the fruit of the tree. Hungrily, he ate of the fruit. Paula welcomed him into her arms. "Now, my darling, we're together again, forever." Spencer smiled at her, then looked at the trees. He wondered why he had been unwilling to accept his destiny. Men were so weak and foolish, so hopelessly mortal. And on asteroid K-157 in the Luani cluster, Donald and Paula Spencer lived happily ever after. Well, that was a fun short one. Until next week, I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will return with a fun science fiction story next week. And in the meantime, Clay will be reading another chapter of The Untamed, and we have a brand new werewolf book for you starting tomorrow. This is book number 3 of the Werewolf Chronicles. So I hope you will tune in to Around the Campfire with Clay Steele and to the Werewolf Chronicles. Thank you. Have a great week.